Man, that stump was huge. This is about the size of the dozer. Bring you up to speed on what's happening. So we're actually building a home site here, or grading out for a home site. I'm not building it. I'm just doing the grading work. But anyway, roughing it in so they can get an idea of what they have. Trying to fill in between two ravines. There's a ravine over there, that's the property line, kinda, or it cuts across the property line. I'll show you that real quick. That's the property line, basically, that tree. And it runs at an angle across this ravine. Pretty harsh angle. So there's the tree. There's the ravine. And that tree right there with the fork in it is the property line, basically. A couple feet that way is the property line. We'll spin around. And the same thing with this tree, about 5 feet on this side of this tree that's broken is the property line. That's why I left this hill here. Didn't cut back any farther. Went around this ravine here, or around this hillside, and left some up here at this ravine. This is basically the start of this one. And got close to the property line again, and it runs. We're going to put a path basically on the property line to go up the hill. This is a flag lot, and there's 7 acres up top that's been clear cut, and it is extremely thick. So that'll be a phase 2 maybe. But right now, wanted to get up. They wanted to be elevated a little bit. Their goal was to be on top of this hill up in that 7 acres, but it's not safe to basically put in a driveway up there, and it's too steep. Not safe for the wintertime, so we're up pretty good. I mean, you can see the truck down there. We'll get this spot leveled out. That's another ravine over there, so I'm working in between 2 ravines. Yeah, so got this to level off. We've already pulled a bunch of stumps prior, and I didn't film it, but we did pull a bunch of stumps. Got to level all this off, clean all this area up down through here. You see all the dirt mounds down through here where I've pulled stumps. He wants to be able to mow this with a 0 turn once everything grows back in. So, or once everything grows back in. So we're gonna trim up around between these trees and stuff down through here, kind of grade this off nicely. This here was the path, the drive for the skidder that was up here getting logs years ago. So we're gonna kind of leave this as a driveway to come straight up to where we're at. Basically all the grading is going to be down through here after we flatten off this area up top here. So it'll be nice. Oh yeah, I busted a hydraulic line. I don't know if I told you that. Busted a hydraulic line for my angle cylinder. Right down here, you can see where it's wet. Anyway, so pretty far away from town or anything like that as far as a parts store. It's kind of early in the day. Been doing all right with it so far, with it busted. So I will actually have my blade angled that way, pushing the dirt that way. Make it a little harder in here, but I think we can still keep working as long as the other hydraulic lines hold up. I imagine it's original. From the 70s. Not really worried about it too much. I just want to get a good day's work out of it, being that we're so far away from parts store. Maybe tonight I can get that taken off if we don't finish up today. Maybe I can get that taken off and get it made up in the morning and come down and finish up what we need to do as far as work. So without further ado, let's get back to work, make this happen, and get a good day in. Well, we are back at the house. I got the dozer loaded up. My phone ended up dying, so I couldn't get what happened out there today. But I can at least show you and kind of walk you through what happened. Now I got you spun around. So what happened was the seal for the track adjuster blew out, which allowed the idler to slide back, loosen the chain or the track, whatever you want to call it, loosen the track. And when I noticed that, I was trying to get it out of the woods, and the chain came off up here at the idler. So messed around with it, got it put back on the idler out in the woods, and started back toward the trailer again so we could get it loaded up, and it came off of the sprocket. So I got it put back on the sprocket, and didn't have very much out there to work with because I was in old red here. But anyway, got it put back on, brought it back here, and evaluating the situation. And what we ended up doing, this arm's bent now, okay? I don't know if you can see that, but that arm right there is bent. That's got a, it's basically a fork, and then it's got a rod that goes back, and of course that's what the grease pushes out against and tightens the idler, tightens the track. Another spot that you can see that it's bent because of this arm back here is this guide right here is kind of wedged this way. It's high on this end, low on this end. So we need a new fork along with a new seal. I'll probably end up getting both of them. This was a bad fork anyway. It was really pitted up bad up toward the front here, and I wanted to get it changed out. But to get this job done and get it done now, as in tomorrow, so we can move on and do some others, I'll put a Band-Aid on here. This Band-Aid is basically what I've done was I've pulled with the blade, I pulled the idler out, tightened the chain, and put this in here as a wedge basically to keep the chain tight. I only need this for a few hours tomorrow to finish up down there at the job. Once that job's finished, this dozer isn't going back on another job for a little while as of right now. So that'll give me time to get parts for the dozer and get this thing back together. We still have the hydraulic line that busted out this morning. I think I showed you guys that. It's dark, so I know you ain't gonna see anything over here. And as you can see, it spewed all over the place as I was using the angle part of the blade to pull the idler back out. But still got to get the hose off. You can barely see it. That hose right there. Got to get it off. And we'll get a new one made up in the morning, hopefully, and get back on the job tomorrow. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to get that line off tonight. Go get a line in the morning. Again, hopefully I can get it made up. We'll get back down on the job site. So this is all part of it. Owning your own business and doing side work or whatever, you know, side gig, whatever you decide to call it. This is all part of it. You're basically relying on yourself and some buddies when needed. But it's like 10 o'clock at night and I just got back, weld that thing up, and you know, I'll pull the line off and go to bed. So we'll see you tomorrow. right, this phase is done, so we're up on the pad right now. This is it for the first phase. I've got this pad slightly angled toward this ravine. That way water will drain down into the ravine and not rush down the hill and rush the road. So yeah, got everything kind of cleaned up here, roughed in, whatever. Figure out what we want to do on the next part and go with it. Got everything cleaned up down here and around the trees and stuff. Everything looks good down through there. The next phase, you know, we'll pull these stumps. I found a stump here earlier. Of course, this stump I found yesterday. That stump I found yesterday. It's just so thick you couldn't see anything up in here. But yeah, those will be on the next phase to take those out and you know, do some more. So this is what the customer wanted. They're happy with it. When they decide to do something else down here on the property, I'm sure we'll be back. So be more dozer work for sure. So yeah, dozer done good, by the way. We'll walk on down here. Dozer done good. The track stayed tight so I could get this job done. So that Band-Aid worked. We'll get some parts ordered for it and get that swapped out. And the hose, got the new hose on there this morning. Of course it held up. Didn't figure there would be any issues there. So I'm gonna pack up and get out of here. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.